There's a third way to say yes. There is the celebration, there is the salvation, but then there's this gift of baptism. There's this gift of baptism. Even Jesus was baptized, which is really fascinating, right? Jesus, who in his perfect life was baptized, and he did it partly as a model. Like he did it, hey, like do this, like do what I do, including be baptized. And part of why he was being baptized is it was his way of saying, look, I am really one with my Father in heaven, and I'm excited about it. I'm surrendered to my Father in heaven, and I love that. I'm excited about him, and he's excited about me. And then Jesus says, so just start doing all the things I do, including be baptized. And throughout the first 3 weeks of December, we're just gonna have baptism available every single week. And maybe you'd say, look, I've been following Jesus a really long time, but I've never been baptized. And I just wanna tell you, when we follow Jesus and his followers in the scripture, the immediate response was baptism. It wasn't a statement of perfection. It wasn't a statement I've arrived. It wasn't I'm gonna wait until I get some things figured out. It was, man, God's grace is good to me. I'm excited to be with him because he's excited to be with me. So in the middle of my story, in the middle of all my imperfection, I'll allow myself to just publicly be baptized, to say I'm with him and he's with me. And I just wonder if some of us, we just know that's our thing. We need to make a move. We've never done it for whatever combination of reasons. And really, it's just a way to follow Jesus and say, I'm with him, he's with me. And you already know, it's already kind of in you. It's like, I didn't think about baptism before I walked in here today, but now I'm thinking about baptism. I should do that. We want to help you do it. And we're going to celebrate it like crazy. There are some of you that I just wonder if this won't be the season where you move from what might have been a really good religious ritual to a response to Jesus. We here in West Michigan, where the bulk of us are from, we live in a very religious culture. There can be some good with that. There can be some bad with that, okay? One of the goods is that oftentimes our parents tried to make really, really good decisions for us around these things of faith. And many of you might have been, your parents might have worked through a process to have you actually literally what they called baptized as an infant. And I want to just say kudos to your parents. What a great move to do the very best we could to try and say, I'm going to do everything I can to try and make sure this my kid can walk with Jesus. I'm just everything, okay? I'm going to do it. And yet I wonder if this is the Christmas that you would respect that past, but make a personal response to Jesus through baptism. And you can do both. I've had this fascinating conversation just 2 weeks ago. Somebody, they're in their early 20s, mid-20s. They grew up in this dynamic, vibrant, Jesus-loving home, really compelling environment, and they just this Jesus-loving home. And their parents had them baptized as an infant. They got a little older. They went away to college. They continued to meet Jesus more and more intimately at college. They quickly found like Jesus-shaped community on a college campus. And they kind of went after this whole thing. And sitting in an environment one time like this, in a conversation maybe similar to this, they literally had this thought. And again, they just told me this story like 2 weeks ago, and I was just compelled listening to it. It's like, you know what? I am so grateful for every move my parents made. I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled and honored by it. And I also want to make my own personal response. It was a both and. There was no disrespect of one to get to the other. And I loved it. I love it because I think we got a culture, again, we want to blame things, right? In order to make one response, I got to blame somebody for the last. No. We can hold both. And maybe today, maybe that's part of your story. You're like, I so honor what my parents did. I so honor and appreciate it. And yet I want to make my own personal response. I'm just telling you, there's a way we can do it. You can do it. You can honor the past and make your own personal response. And maybe that's you. This Christmas is your chance. That's me. I'm so excited to be with Jesus and that he would be with me. Me. All my junk and all the humiliation and distress I've known, that he would be with me. Yeah. If you would say yes to baptism, much like if you would say yes to salvation, I want you just when we're all done, make a really courageous move. Just beeline to that table with Caleb. He's going to give you all the info you would need to know about how to be baptized in one of our 3 weeks in December, in the first part of December. Okay, just grab a hold of that moment. And it could be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun to just say, man, I'm excited to be with Jesus and I'm excited he's with me. I'm excited to be with Jesus and I'm excited he's with me. Gang, yeses change everything. So let's make some yeses. Let's make some yeses. Let's say some yeses. Yeses change everything.